episode 2 of Condition Nerdcast. We're so excited to be back for a second week. We want to thank everyone who listened, who subscribed, who watched the video. You guys are great, and we've had some really great feedback from you all. So let's just get right into it. Episode 2, here we are.
Yes.
So what did we get into this week?
This week, what did we do? We caught up on some television shows.
We did. There was, the beginning of the week, Downton came back. That was very exciting for all of us girls out there.
Yes. I did not watch.
No, you didn't.
This week of Downton.
But
did watch Helix.
Helix was really good.
Aired on Friday.
It was a limited commercial interruption episode. Double episode, I think. Was it
a double episode. I could see why they made a double episode, because I feel like the first episode, the first hour, 45 minutes, was okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, the 15-minute that we saw our sneak preview last week, I think we saw the 15-minute sneak preview.
There was 15 minutes online ahead of the premiere that we had a chance to watch, which was good. It definitely whet your appetite for the show, but getting into the actual episode itself, it was...
Right.
There was a lot of character building and a lot of, just building out laying the groundwork for what the rest of the season is going to be. I'm
curious to see where they're going. I don't see how this can really be a cohesive story. I'm going
to say right now, spoilers. For sure, spoilers.
Is it an alien? Is it a virus?
Is it a mutated future creature? Who knows?
I mean, I guess there is a lot of excitement in not knowing what it is.
Yes.
But it's a little weird. The whole it needs to make out with you to transfer is a little odd. It's obviously it's not
in your mouth.
Right.
Gross,
right. This black
ooze.
Yes, that
disgusting.
Is
ugh.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Would I have preferred to be airborne? Probably not, because that's just a little too ridiculous and it spread too quickly.
And then there would be a lot of people in suits the entire show. No, I mean, I guess I was expecting a little bit more because it's a Ronald D. Moore production, like Battlestar Galactica is. Now, you
mentioned something that you believe it might happen in the same universe as Battlestar.
Yeah, I heard a rumor about that. I don't know if it's actually true that it might be from the same universe.
Galactica is going to show up at one point.
Because we're in present day, and if you've watched Battlestar, you know how Battlestar works. But we're not going to spoil Battlestar Galactica right now. However, back to Helix, I was expecting a little bit more. Because it's based on a research base in the middle of the Antarctic, it's very self-contained, whereas Battlestar Galactica felt infinite because they were in space, because they could go out in any direction. It feels very contained, and I wonder if, 3 episodes from now, if it's going to feel more sort of compressed, like they don't have room to grow with the story as it goes on. Right, because
they're just in this spherical base. So obviously you're not the biggest horror movie fan, but this reminded me slightly of The Thing.
That's what I've heard a lot of people compare it to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it reminded me a lot of The Thing, where, base in the Arctic, and it was an alien, and it kind of takes over your body and mutates you. And they did a remake, I want to say 2 years ago, they did a remake. Yeah. 2 years ago, because I saw it at Comic-Con 2 years ago. Okay. They talked about it.
But I doubt it's going to be such a blatant ripoff.
No, it's not. Once again, I in The Thing, the creature did not make out with you, so right away they have completely
totally different.
Totally different.
And I'm waiting for there to be some standout characters. It hasn't felt.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing I found interesting. You're talking about saying a main character already, like second episode, was infected.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. I will definitely say
I didn't expect that, and I don't know how they're gonna run with that over the course of the series. Right. I mean, maybe it's a dream. We could come back.
No.
The next episode, it's a dream.
Totally
it didn't happen. She's just.
And explain the shiny eyes. Another movie you did not watch, Pitch Black, or The Chronicles of Riddick. In that movie, the main character gets his eyeballs polished.
Okay.
It allows him to see in the dark. Makes total sense.
Sure.
So that's what when I first saw like the shiny eyes, like, wait, are his eyeballs polished so you can see in the dark? But I am assuming they're not bringing the Riddick universe and Battlestar together.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. So yes, is he an alien? Does he have some kind of virus in him? Which is, obviously there's something going on with that guy.
He's the next evolution of the human species. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Right, we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see.
Besides Helix, I guess the other big thing was CES.
The biggest thing.
CES. Which I normally I'm really, really excited about CES. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I delve into it and I'm reading every single article.
Not so much this year?
Not so much. Okay. I was shocked that there wasn't that much publicity around there. And there was. But I guess looking at years past with 3D TV, there was a lot of publicity about that. And I guess because people hate 3D television. I mean, we have a 3D TV. I'm a fan of 3D. It's also kind of crammed down your throat with every movie nowadays.
I think the biggest news that came out of CES was the whole Michael Bay flub of reading the teleprompter incorrectly and then running off of the stage because he was so embarrassed. I mean,
so you heard what happened with that. So he cut ahead of
where the teleprompter was.
He cut the main guy off. Who was speaking? It was
I don't remember. It was head of something or
like
other.
Philips TV. It probably wasn't Philips.
I think Samsung.
Samsung. He had Samsung. So he cut in front of Samsung, the announcer, the president's thing, and that threw everything off loop. And then he
ran off the stage crying like a little girl. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Michael Bay. Explosions.
He did run off the stage and did not come back out, and that was that. So if that's the biggest story coming out of CES,
right. There was that. So wearable technology.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
Is dramatically improving. Apparently, this kind of is the final build that they just went through. There might be, slight improvements with the next one, but they're saying for the most part, I believe they would be happy with this release.
Okay, so why don't you explain to our listeners, if they don't know what Oculus Rift is, what is it? The future is now, right?
The future is now. Well, the future, you look a little dorky with the future. So, it's essentially a giant, well, not giant, but it's this television that you wear.
On your face.
It's
goes over your eyes.
OLED screen.
Yeah.
Which is going to be pretty high res. They're not talking about resolution yet, but it should be pretty decent high resolution. I've tried in the past the wearable TVs. You put on these glasses and it looks like you're seeing a 150-inch television. I never get that experience ever. I get that I'm wearing glasses and there's a 50-inch television 50 yards away. Maybe not that dramatic, but I don't feel immersed like they've always said the experience would be. Oculus Rift, everybody who's tried it on says you get that sense. Like if you're on a roller coaster, I've seen and read articles where the person says that they felt nauseous. That feeling of falling.
People have been talking about virtual reality since the 80s, and it never has taken off in the sense that you wanted it to take off, where it really felt like you were there.
Right.
So I'm still in a wait and see sort of situation where I believe that it's awesome, and I believe
want it to be awesome. Like I want this immersiveness.
We want it to be amazing, but it's
not there yet. It reminds me of...
When I see it, I'll believe it.
Right. But it reminds me of, I want to say the 80s. You might have missed this. But there was this holographic video game. And I believe you were a sheriff. It was kind of like a Old West style shooting game. Mm-hmm. And it was going to be amazing. It was holographic, which is pretty much the screen in front. And it gave the idea of a hologram, but not really. It was poorly done for its time. I remember going there probably when I was like 10 years old and saying, this is the most amazing looking thing in the world. But I'd play it for, it was probably a 50-cent game or a dollar game. And I was like, I can't afford to play this again. And I wasn't that good to continue playing.
Okay.
So I felt, and that technology went nowhere. There were no more further holographic games. But Oculus Rift, once again, supposed to be fantastic. It's not, they haven't said anything about it working with, Xbox's system or PlayStation. Right now it's just PC. I think they're talking about the price being around $500. That's the rumor.
Okay. Maybe
$300. I mean, for $300, I would definitely give it a shot and see how it worked out after testing it. But that's interesting. Wearable computers, a big thing. One thing that seems to now be dead is 3D television.
Yeah, now we're moving straight onwards to 4K.
4K.
Or ultra high def.
Correct.
I wrote a really interesting, or at least in my mind, really interesting
I was
article.
like, wow, way to pack it up in the back there.
Article this week about 4K and my experience or non-experience with it, and I'm still waiting to see how quickly it will flood the market. I mean,
they're trying. They're trying to.
They say that sales are going to be 10 times the number that they've been this past year in 2013.
What was the 50-inch television going for? They're saying 50-inch, 55-inch for $900.
No.
I believe I read that someplace.
You're making that up.
The
average price is around $3,000 right now.
No, I think
we saw monitors.
Vizio said that they were going to produce I'm going to say 50-inch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to say it's about a 50-inch television for $900, which blew me away. I've never owned a Vizio product, so I can't say that's great.
Okay.
But 50-inch, $900 seems slightly appealing to me.
It seems too good to be true.
Right.
Seeing that you can get, for the same price, a TV not much bigger than that, and it's just a regular HD 3D television.
But once again, there were maybe 3 3D televisions at CES. They are pretty much saying it wasn't as adopted the way they were hoping it was going to be adopted. People don't want to wear glasses.
Unless you're watching a movie or something.
Right.
Like,
but I don't mind. I really didn't mind, or I don't mind watching, just got Jurassic Park in 3D. I'm excited to watch that. You've never seen Jurassic Park, which is weird to me, and probably people out there in the internet world.
Thanks for calling me out.
Well, I'm just saying, Jurassic Park probably has one of the best soundtracks in a movie, and amazing special effects for its time. And to see it in 3D, I'm stoked. But apparently that's not how I should watch Jurassic Park. I should wait 4 more years and watch Jurassic Park in 4K, because I will then feel like velociraptors are in the house and are about to attack me.
Much like they remaster movies and television for HD or for Blu-ray, they can do the same thing for 4K. And right now that's really the market that's what they have out there right now, is mastered in 4K videos and things. There's not a lot of new stuff being produced in 4K right this second.
Right.
Like, you couldn't go out and get a 4K television and expect all of your stuff that you watch every day to be in 4K. It's not going to happen. It's the same sort of switch over from standard definition to HD, where it just hasn't happened yet.
I'm excited to see 5 years from now if you come over and say, can we get Downton Abbey season 1 4K?
I think 5 years from now is totally different than this year. I'm talking about this year. I don't necessarily see the need.
So do you imagine saying Downton Abbey season 1 is released on 4K?
No.
Let's get that?
No.
Good. I appreciate that. And we now have proof that you will not ever want Downton Abbey any season in 4K.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that, being put to the side, is that, I think this year will be a testing year to see if studios, television starts producing things in 4K, which requires different cameras. It requires basically different everything to get the pixel density that 4K requires. So it's a investment on the studio side to then release a product that people don't have the televisions for yet.
Right.
They haven't bought into that market yet. So the return on the investment is still fairly low.
But
if we're going that way, will they hop on now, or will they wait another year till the market is a little bit more robust?
Did you see Sony's Handycam, 4K Handycam?
Yes, that was the first thing at CES that I was like, okay, maybe 4K is going to be moving in a new right direction.
Right.
That will make it last or speed up its process.
I remember when, I think it was a Sony that I had, which used the little mini discs, which I thought was going to be a big thing. I was like, this is fantastic. It's a little mini disc, and you can put it inside a DVD player and play it immediately. I never did that. Like, it was really, it was probably one of the worst purchases I've ever made in my life. The recordable disc.
No, I think all they're trying to prove is that they can lower the price points.
Right, and shrink the technology down and make it...
They're just showing off, and I think it's good that they're showing off. I don't think people should go out and buy a 4K Handycam unless you're a crazy student filmmaker who wants to, I don't know,
film something in
4K.
But the other thing is that camera can scale down, which is what you need to say, that it will scale down to scale up your images. So even when it scales down to a 1080p, 1080i, it'll still look crisper, even on your basic TV.
So we'll wait and see if 4K is still a thing next year at CES 15.
Will it be pushed? Is someone going to next year say, wait a minute, 4K 3D? Then what happens? Is that just too much?
Then the velociraptors are eating your face.
Then I feel them in the room.
They're breathing on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That actually would be kind of cool.
No.
No.
Would not be cool.
I kind of want to go to a movie theater where it's more interactive, like at Disney World when you sit down. And I forgot where it was, but there's a scene where the mice come on the screen and little feathers hit you in the feet and you freak out for a moment.
I'm just happy with the big comfy lounge chairs that they've started putting in movie theaters. That is awesome to me.
But I want rumble chairs. I want the base to be in my seat, so when an explosion happens on television...
You want to go to a theme park every time you watch a movie.
Exactly.
All right.
Imagine how much better Downton Abbey will be with rumble seats.
It's not a high action drama, dear.
All right. Well, maybe it'll rock you to sleep. That would be kind of interesting. All right. Well, that's it for this show. I want to say don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for listening.